My name is Nona. I'm currently a 16-year-old at North Eugene High School. I was born in Miami, Florida, and I'm adopted.
Even though you're 16, what are your feelings about the differences between going to a polling place and our mail-in system that we have here, and what our current election verbiage is saying, what's out there?
Personally, I haven't done so much research about what's going on in the mail. I just know that we're being encouraged to support the mail, is it USPS? I think yes, USPS. But I don't know how that is in terms of voting, because I feel like I just don't want my, if it were me, if I were allowed to vote, I wouldn't personally want my vote to get lost in the mail, because I've heard that that's been happening a lot, where your votes get lost in the mail, and if I were to vote, I would want my vote to count. But for me, I would also want to vote in the mail, because I just feel like it personally feels like an accomplishment, going to vote in the mail. But I don't know really. I haven't done a lot of my research about it.
Are you looking forward to voting someday?
Yes. I wish I could vote in this election really, really bad, but sadly, I have to wait for a little while.
There's been some talk about lowering the voting age to 16. Do you feel like someone your age is capable of making decisions that way?
Some people that I know, I feel will actually make their actually think about why am I voting for this person. But I feel also a lot of my other friends are not capable. The people that I see that go to my school are not capable of voting, because they're just they don't know, they will just say, oh, I want to vote for Trump because I like him. There's not any logical reason to back why they like him, which I feel is really just does not help at all. If you're not going to give a reason, then don't even vote, because it's just not. It's not worth your vote to just put a name down because you like
Do you
it.
think there's some 40-year-olds who?
Yes, most definitely. There's definitely 40-year-olds and older people who do that. Pretty sure.
Do you feel like that we can achieve systematic change with voting?
Yes. I feel the first step is voting, and then from there we can change, because right now it's super hard for me personally. Since I've been involved in this movement, I just feel it's hard right now trying to change when the person who's in power won't change anything. It's just leaving things the way they are, and then kind of fueling the fire. So I just feel we need to vote, and then after we vote, we can start changing. Because right now, I just feel it's just way too hard to make those big changes if the person in power does not care about what other people want.
Do you feel like the protests are making changes?
Yes, I believe that they are making changes. A lot of, I think not the biggest part of this movement, but definitely a part of it is justice for these families, and I've seen a lot of instances where cases are getting reopened. They're actually looking into these cases instead of just throwing it away, which I feel is really important. And I think that the protests are really helping in a way, but then I also feel we're still not getting heard. These people in power are still not listening to our demands. They're just, again, fueling the fire and not and just not helping us, which I feel we all voting is also what we need to do, is voting to actually make a bigger change than what we are right now.
Do you think that the protests are affecting the local mindsets or individuals in general?
I've been protesting in Springfield a lot during this whole Black Lives Matter movement, and I can tell you from there, the people in Springfield do not want to listen to them. They're just going off of that one protest that happened at the end of May. They don't think about anything else. They're always constantly talking about looting and rioting, and they don't want to listen to what we have to say, and they don't want to open their minds just a little bit. They don't want to care. In Eugene, in Eugene, it's way better here. Like, they actually are listening to our demands, and they are like trying to make that change. But it's just like, even though Springfield is, different, I've been going there, and they don't want to listen. They just don't care. It's really hard when people like that are so close-minded and they don't want to listen. So for me, I first got involved at at the protest, like the huge protest with like 10,000 people. That one, I think it was like
The one that happened at the court.
Yes.
Court.
I went there, and at first I was like, wow, like this is really, really, I don't know if, like, this might be my only protest, because I'm a little nervous about being here. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. And then after I figured out, like, wow, like this is actually what I wanted to do. And Black Unity, when they started doing their protests, I was really happy because it felt like a safe space, like a safe protesting space. So I started going there a lot. And then as time went on, they asked me to be like, not in charge of the youth, but like they wanted me to get more involved with the youth. So it felt like I actually had like a place in this movement, like not just, okay, I'm gonna go to protests and just like yell and scream. Like, I actually felt like I can make a change in this. Like, I can actually talk to the youth and like interact with the youth, because sometimes it's hard when there's like an older person and telling you what to do than a younger person, like if there's a younger person. And I think that's really been helpful, like knowing that like we have like a bunch of youth things going on. And I've also been going to Portland a lot, which is hard because of just what's going on, but I also feel like it makes me more like powerful in this movement, and it makes me more like less afraid of like the obstacles are gonna come. So I think that's also really helpful for me.
Like, is there one thing that you would like people to know that you think would actually make a change? I mean, one little thing, one big thing.
I want people to know that this whole movement is not just looting and rioting. It is not just us like burning, like not even burning down. Like, it's not just us like breaking stuff, throwing water bottles. It's actually us like going, like there's people in this movement that like want to change. Like the majority of the people in this movement like want change, and the only way we can do the only way that we can like make a change if our voices are heard. So like looting and rioting just like isn't part really of a movement. Like, it's not just about that, and that's what I want people to realize, is that like looting and rioting is not, people shouldn't just be stuck on that one thing. They should also look at it as like a whole, and like that's what I want people to do, I guess. Even though it's not like the biggest thing to be worrying about, but I think the only way to open people's minds is to just tell them that like, just because the actions of one person, if they look on the actions of one person, they're never going to be able to open their minds to the actual movement, and they're just going to stick on that one thing.
What in your heart do you think is the main shift that the movement is trying to do?
I think mainly just trying to end systematic racism. Even though that's like a huge goal, I think we could do it with just more time and voting people out and putting new people in.
Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome. Yay.
Yay!